It was the kind of exercise the US or Japan would typically tackle by itself. On this January morning, the two countries' soldiers were in a camouflaged tent together, practicing using the planes of one and the missile launchers of another to attack an imaginary ship of an unnamed country that might have been China. In a forest along the coast of northern Japan, nearly 24 US Marines and Japanese soldiers hunched over maps and laptops. A message flashed on a secure Marines webpage: "Stand by for engagement." These were the first joint drills between the Marines and Japan's self-defense forces that practiced destroying maritime targets using surface-to-ship missiles, controlled by Japanese and American officers working alongside each other to direct missiles, aircraft, ships and radar from both sides. "In the Indo-Pacific region you're talking about huge distances," said Major Ben Reading, the officer coordinating the simulated missile strikes for the Marines. "We have to fight together with our allies with all the assets that we can bring to bear." Concerns about regional conflict, most significantly if China follows through on threats to seize Taiwan, are driving the US and Japanese militaries to deepen their integration. More broadly, American allies and friends in the Asia-Pacific region are playing a larger role in deterring Beijing. Australia is building up its defenses by spending more than $180 billion on high-tech defense programs, including long-range missiles, and acquiring nuclear-powered submarines that use US technology, while Taiwan plans to increase military spending over the next 5 years on missiles, ships and other items. Japan has been concerned by Chinese moves over the past decade to lay claim to Japanese-controlled islands in the East China Sea. In 2018, it created its Amphibious Rapid Deployment Brigade, modeled on the Marines. In recent computer-based wargames separate from the field exercises in northern Japan, U.S. participants including Brig General Kyle Ellison said they saw advances in the Japanese brigade's ability to deploy and engage the enemy quickly. "Part of our ability to deter is making it not about 1 versus 1, but 1 versus 2, or 1 versus 3, or 1 versus 4, said General Ellison, deputy commander of a Marine force that would likely be on the front line of any clash in the Western Pacific that draws in. The U.S. preparing for island conflict in the Pacific is now the primary focus of the Marines.